Hello everyone and welcome to FOL Race Hub on YouTube. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from in the world. My name is Gogs, the Captain Brown. Thank you for joining me in the comms box for this race. I'm here to call all the action for you for round 8 of Formula Racing League's PlayStation 5 Super Sprint Sunday Championship, sponsored by Pure Sim Gear. We are here tonight at a very, very wet looking Zandvoort. 13 corners, some lovely rain came off the North Sea, and some very technical corners and a lot of overtaking opportunities. That's what we have for you this evening. I'm going to do my best not to butcher any of the corner names. I'm going to give it my absolute best shot. But if you're new to this race format, let me just quickly run down for you what to expect this evening. We're just about to enter qualifying. A couple of minutes left of actually practice is finished. Everyone's just getting their final laps in now. On the right hand side we can see their qualifying. Oh, there it is. Their qualifying just starting now. 26-minute session on the top right hand side of the screen there. The first 13 minutes will be for the exclusive use of the AM class drivers, and you can tell the AM class drivers by the red on the left hand side of the screen, the numbers with the red background. The pro class drivers in the white background. So the first 13 minutes as we watch Richings drift off track there on turn 3, that will be the first person to do that this evening, I can guarantee you that. In the first 13 minutes, the AM class drivers have exclusive use of the track. The second 13 minutes, the pro drivers will have exclusive use of the track. As long as there are more than 13 minutes left on that timer in the top right of the screen, the AM class drivers can finish their lap. So Luke Richings is the first driver out onto the track for this qualifying session. We'll see what kind of benchmark they can put up. The track is looking, I mean, it looks wetter than it actually is. It is raining, it's a damp kind of track, there's not a lot of standing water out there. So it will be interesting to see just who can get the car set up spot on, so these tyres provide the pilots with enough grip, the maximum amount of grip possible. So I'll take you on a quick guide of the track, Circuit Zandvoort in the Netherlands, as we see Richings coming round the final corner now. There we go, we're on board with Richings for his lap as he gets very unsettled. He's onto the start-finish straight now. I will point out this is the old style layout, so the braking zone's round about 100 metres away, hard on the brakes. Come off the brakes just as you begin to turn in on your understeer like Richings has done there, but that's going to open up the exit for him. Turn 2 is a nothing corner, it's a preparation zone for turn 3, very tricky. Watch that inside curb, it will send you into the wall on the left. Turn 4, this long left-hander is banked, use as much off the camber of the track as you can, and then we're foot down through turns 5, 6 and 7, right, left and right. Next corner is a double right-hander, very tricky corner, one of the hardest corners on the track. You just want to make sure you get the links late apex to get on the throttle as soon as you can. Bring the car over to the left, take as much of this inside curb as the car will allow, and be very cautious on the exit. It's so easy to put your wheel, the left wheel, on the grass on the exit. This turn's a tricky right-hander, very hard to spot the apex, same with this left-hander as well. You do want to clip the apex a little bit later in the corner to maximise your run down this short straight onto the Audi S-bend. Hard on the brakes here. It is a right-left, you can take that curve on the inside, but he's ran too far, carried too much speed into the chicane. That will invalidate his lap, so it will not be Richings who has set the benchmark so far, but we'll stick with him for the second to last turn. That curve's nice and flat on the way in, the exit curve also, and this tricky right-hander, you do need to get the right line, balance the throttle throughout the corner, run it all the way out to the left, and then it's foot down, nothing more to do but to complete a lap off Circuit Zandvoort. So that lap, like we said, is not going to be valid, but Rob Fox in the Lamborghini, it looks like it is going to set a valid time, and he sets the provisional benchmark of a 1:42. 1 minute 42.4. Car 84 not valid. Car 77, that's Samuel Grafe, also in the Lamborghini, so comparable cars. We'll see what he can do. And he moves up 141.2. It's a decent lap for Grafe. Good lap. Next across the line is going to be the current championship leader, and he can wrap up the championship, I think, in this race. I will double check all that for you in the gap between qualifying and race 1, but Luca comes across the line and demonstrates what he's been doing pretty much all season long and takes the provisional pole time for the AM class. 1 minute 40.8 exactly. So who's not yet set a lap time? We've got only 3 valid laps there actually. 323 is also invalidated the next lap. Richings, Roos, Cablo and Locklear. Locklear's still invalid, so we'll see if any of those guys can put a time in for the AM class. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 AM class drivers in this evening as we watch Roos running a little bit wide. That one might still be valid. He comes around Vodafone Bocht just now, down the long, it's a very short back straight, but it's one of the key overtaking opportunities into the chicane. He takes a lot of that curve. That's something we've never seen Richings do on the track guide. He's kept it very neat, sometimes still left on the table, as Richings has now put in a lap time. He's now put himself on the board in 4th provisionally. Cablo goes into 5th, gets a time on the board, as well as Locklear and Grafe starts their next lap. What can Roos do? Roos goes 4.6 off the pace, but again he is now on the board. Lucas coming round the final corner now, over the line. Doesn't improve, not on this lap anyway. It looks like he is throwing the car around there. It is, like I said, looks wetter than it actually is. It's damp. It's not soaked, so that is something that they will be looking to exploit. And we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars on track just now, so 2 of the drivers, Locklear and Hodges, do appear to just be sitting in the garage. Let me just double check actually if they are currently able to get themselves on the track. Yeah, they have. No, there's 1, 2, 3, 6 cars now on track actually. So who has joined there? That's Locklear. Locklear's came out in that red McLaren. He's Grafe in the background there, getting very treacherous on the wet curbs. So while the track is only a little bit damp, those curbs will be soaking. They do tend to hold on to the water a bit more than the tarmac. So Locklear is about to start himself a lap. Comes down the start finish straight into Tarzan Bocht, which is turn 1. Please forgive me for the butchering of the Dutch language. I'm not even going to attempt turn 3. So I'm going to go for it. It's Gerlach Bocht. Turn 3 there, that tricky right-hander. He gets round okay. Then the long sweeping left-hand bank turn. He does round okay there. So we're on board with the McLaren driver. 6 minutes of qualifying left. He's very wide. I think he might have kept it within the lines. He has got a car coming behind him at a vast rate of knots. That's Grafe. Grafe coming up trying to catch Lucas' time to meet that 140.380. Might be held up by the McLaren here as he looks like he's struggling a little bit in the damp conditions. Good control, good line through Vodafone Bocht. I'm going to stop that now, it's not working for me. He's He's on the brakes very late. Can he get it slowed down enough? He does. He just misses the apex. Shouldn't hurt him too much. He's run wide. This one's given up on this one. He's going to let the car behind through. Good driving there from the McLaren driver. Cablo is on the start-finish straight just in front of this lot, actually, about to cross the line. Can he improve? He does improve. He's up into P4. Good lap from Cablo. Richard's still out there. He was the first person on track this evening. That Mercedes, that football pitch of a bonnet, stabilising the car in these wet conditions. A little bit of understeer shown there from the AMG driver. He's got a Lamborghini just caught up with the back of him now as well. Hodges has joined the track, so we do have now all the AM class drivers on track. Hodges there in the BMW, hoping to set himself a lap time, get him off the grid. 23 drivers this evening, only racing between the two classes. Not the largest turnout we've had all season, but I'm sure these guys will make it one hell of a show for us to watch. Every single wet race we've had this season has been absolutely incredible. So we'll see if these conditions can match up to the pre-race hype that we've seen earlier on this season, especially at Snetterton. If you've not seen that race, please go back and give it a watch. The Snetterton Super Sprint Sunday, fantastic what stream that one was. Great racing all round. But Hodges now across the line to start his first lap. Luca's improved again. Luca's went down 140.2. We're watching Grafe in the 77 Lamborghini. He's on the limit there, so close to the sand. All the sand brought from the nearby beach. As he's up through the gears now across the line. No improvement again. No improvement yet. This is Fox in the 508 Lamborghini. That raging bull. Yeah, he takes a lot of that inside curve. He's got the confidence in the car to do it. They seem to be in control of the car. Full credit to Fox in the 508 car. He's tucked in very nicely to that apex, using all of the available track and a little bit more. Right on the edge. He went a bit deep into this Audi S. Can he keep it within the lines? I think he has done. It looks like he's on a good one. Where's his lap time there on the dashboard? 1:25, 27, 28. He's went wide. That might have invalidated the lap time. We'll see if it updates and improves his time. 1 minute of qualifying left, so this will be Fox's last lap. He's about to start as Richard has given up on the qualifying session as he parks it on the outside of Tarzan. Yellow flags out for Cablo at the Audi S as well, so that's his qualifying session over. He'll start no higher than 4th. We've got two cars in close succession there. Luca is on an invalid lap. He's got 40 seconds to cross the line. He should do so. He's got Ruse just in front of him as well, so he's needing to back off. Is he going to get the lap in? Second to last corner now. Current provisional pole sitter for the AM class. Had the pace to fight with the pro class this season, especially last time out at Alton Park. Absolute masterclass from Luca. So he's had 17 seconds are in the bag, so he'll get his final lap in. So Rob Fox is furthest round the track, car 32, that's Ruse in front of Luca, has thrown in the towel for this lap. So he'll start no higher than 5th, so it's only Fox. Fox is the only one out there who can stop Luca for taking first in the AM class as the pro drivers take to the track now. It's now their turn to get a shot off the track, but it is Fox who is flying, the flying Fox round the into the second to last corner now. Hooks up the apex nicely. He's in full control of that Lamborghini. He's still going, using the banking off the final curve. Nowhere near as high as it is nowadays, of course, on the F1 circuit. But Fox is coming up through the gears and across the line. He does improve. Doesn't improve position though. And the last one round is going to be Luca. Is he going to finish his lap, or is he going to pull in? Does he know that he's the last one on track? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see if he's able to improve though. Obviously the more cars he can put between himself and Grafe will give him the best opportunity to clinch the AM Class Championship tonight. We're on board with the McLaren. He's went a little bit over the inside curb. We have to hesitate on the apex. That'll cost him time all the way through to the finish line. He looks like he's carrying a tremendous amount of grip. No, he's given up. That's him. He's done for the season. He's done for qualifying. He's got that pole position in the bag. So we're looking at the all too familiar sight of the 242 Sky McLaren in the Pro Class. Current Pro Class Championship leader Daniel Naisbitt. He's coming around the final corner just now, and we're going to jump on board with the McLaren driver and just see what he can do. Controlled into turn 1, he's off the throttle. The car's rotating nicely on the throttle early, uses just the right amount of curb into the tricky right-hander now. Yep, keeps it well within the white lines, no bouncing off the curbs. This puts down now. Love this section, it's like riding the roller coaster, up and down, round we go. Where he stops, hopefully on pole for him. The rain does look like it's running very heavily on his windscreen. Don't know if it is any heavier, of course. He's got a couple of corners gap to the last people on the out lap, so he should be fine. No traffic for the championship leader as it stands. It comes round now onto the short back straight right before the Audi S. All you've got to do is pick the right spot to brake. It's slightly blinded as you come over that crest. Takes a lot of that curb. Gets the car rotated still. Double apex is the second part of the chicane. Great driving. Second to last turn now. Kumbo bucked. Just clips the inside curb, cautious on exit. Round the final corner now, can he keep it within the white? He's had to lift. Understeer just built slowly in the car. Dan Naisbitt provisionally goes into P1. 10 milliseconds between himself and Luca. Now if you look on the left hand side, we're going to watch the timing screen tumble down as all the Pro Class drivers now begin to cross the line. We are watching Rick Dembrave with Chris Gedman in the Porsche just in front of him. We'll see where these guys last as well. We look at the timing screens. Milnix has went into P3. Dibrell in 4th overall. Luke Prentice in 5th. Dembrave's very high on the grass there. Will that hamper his time? He goes into 9th. Rogers is out there still as well. He's one of the last ones to come across the line, going through the second to last turn now. De Vita has went into 6th. Wazzer 7th. What can Rogers do as he comes across the line? P7. P7 for Rogers puts Wazzer down to 8th. Spanu in the yellow Ferrari about to come across the line now. No valid time. Eden last time out didn't have the best evenings. We'll see if he can improve this time around. He's coming through the final section again. He's pushing that low. He's all over the grass. Very dangerous in these conditions, of course. Where does he go? Eden goes into P4. Cracking lap from the 884 car. Naisbitt's about to cross the line for his second attempt at setting a lap. Can he improve? He does. 1 minute 40.095. Clayton has done exactly the same time as Cablo in AM class. We'll see if he can improve on that as well. He's got a Porsche just in front of him as he comes through the roller coaster section. such a good track, this one. The flow to this track really is incredible. 7 minutes 20 seconds left of qualifying here for Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday. Pure Sim Gear's Gedman moves over to, I think, to move out the way. Don't think that's been intentional. That's not, he clearly moved off the line, so he didn't block the car coming through. Just unfortunate where they met, it looked like. Clayton now up through the gears over this little crest we spoke about earlier on. Hard onto the brakes now, he's got the car slowed down. Big bump over that inside curve, round the Audi S he goes. Double apex like we seen Naisbitt do earlier on. Second to last turn now. It looks like the corner opens up, but it just closes so quickly on exit there. Flies round the final corner now. He's kept it and looks in control by Clayton. He is just building his pace. That's what you want from qualifying. Just slowly build your pace up, chipping away at the lap time. Clayton slightly improves, moves up to P18. So right now in Pro class we've got Naisbitt, Milnix, Wazzer, Eden, Diabrail, Rogers, Prentice, DeVita, Volton and Townsend make up the top 10 in the class. Spano, how's Spano doing? He's only made a couple of the races this season, but when he has looked particularly impressive. We'll see what he can do this time about. I think it was Mihuka behind. Yes, it is, in the BMW. Didn't have the best time last time out as well. Neither did Mihuka in the 979 car. He'll be looking to improve on that. He did lead most of race 2. It all went downhill from as Spano moves out of the way. Mihuka goes round the Audi S. There's the helicopter, picks up the BMW car. Round the second to last now. This short little squirt of throttle needs to balance the car. That big BMW will not be helping him round the final turn, but it looks nicely balanced. He's kept the car pretty much on the ideal line as he crosses over the start finish line. Doesn't improve again. Doesn't improve again. Michael Milnix in the purple Ferrari. He's had a bit of a mixed season. He's looked very quick in qualifying. He's had the pace. It's just not went well for him on the race. He's been caught up in a lot of other people's incidents. We'll see if he can improve on that. Yellow flags out for car number 32 at the back of the circuit. That was Jay Wazzer, who's currently in third. Second overall was Milnix, runs it wide on the final turn, wasn't able to hold it in. As you'll need to start a new lap. Wazzer's in the pits as well. Naisbitt's still out there improving still. 139.670. It's a good lap from them. Chris Gedman's out there still, like we said, just building on the pace as the race goes on. These conditions, of course, not the easiest to drive in. The track will be showing a little bit of a dry line. We can just about make it out on the track. The sort of darker section of tarmac where the cars tend to be sticking to will be providing a little bit more grip, but it will be marginal at this point. There's not really enough running going on to clear up all that standing water. A couple of minutes left to go. 3 minutes 21 seconds. I think most cars out on track. Clayton's showing us in the pits. So Clayton, the only Pro Class car not currently on track. On board with the McLaren, the 71 car, the McLaren car of Van der Waal. Running 14th, had a bit of a mixed season, some good results, mixed in with some results he could be doing with forgetting. A lot of understeer in that car. In these conditions, of course, it is safer to set the car up with the understeer. We'll see just how tricky this corner is as we're on board. Now, it looks open and then That curb on the left just closes up so quickly. Thunderbolt takes a late turn now, he's had to lift off, hesitate again. He comes up through the gears, crosses the line. No improvement again. Nobody's really improving that much as it stands. So Rick Den Brave is still out there, hammering away at the lap time. The Ferrari man, 2.1 currently off the provisional pole time. Can he improve? This looks like a good exit out of the final turn. Crosses the line, no improvement again. Clayton has joined, the 500 driver has joined. They've got a slow moving car, 21 car of Dario De Vita. Running slowly just now, maybe just letting some cars pass if they find a qualifying gap. Nope, Clayton's had enough. He is not happy with how that car is doing. We'll jump on board with, who's still out there? Spanu's about to come round and cross the line. He's going to make it a little toe there from the Porsche in front. Spanu through the gears. Nope, no improvement there either. Eden's improved. Eden's up into second in class. 0.59 off the pole time. The back end balanced, nicely poised through the final corner. He comes across the line. No improvement again. Malnick's now in the pits, 44 seconds remaining, so that will be as high as he will qualify. No higher than third. Wazer's still out there as well, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, non-binary pals, we have found the knob of the week. It is Jay Wazer in the 32 Ferrari. And my favourite game of the week has ended early, but prematurely for the missile. We'll see what he can do though. Just because he's got knob on the front of the screen doesn't mean he's slow. He's very quick. He's currently 5th in overall, 4th in class. Only needs to find a 10th to jump himself up into 2nd in class. We'll see what he can do as his final attempt. He comes round the final corner now. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. De Vita currently 10th. Does improve, finds himself up in 8th. Gedman round now to complete his last lap. Townsend in close tow. Gedman does improve, doesn't move up a position. Townsend, that's not Townsend, sorry, that's Spanu. Spanu is 16th overall as he crosses the line. Next up is Eden in the Ferrari. Can he make any inroads into Dan Naisbitt? Can he get himself alongside Naisbitt on the front row and liven up turn 1 for us? No, he can't. Volten now currently 6th. Great driving from Volten, but he's made himself up into 6th. Across the checkered flag now. Car 71 is not on a valid lap, but car 69, Dylebrail is in that Lamborghini. We've seen him challenge so often this season. He moves up into 8th ahead of Dario De Vita. Car 43, Luke Prentice, previous race winner this year, 7th. 512, the 512 car, that's Mihulka, that's Rogers, sorry. Rogers comes across the line, doesn't improve either, 10th, nobody's improving. It's up to Rick Den Brave, maybe cause an upset this evening. Crosses the line, P14. So that is the end of the qualifying session for Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday here at Zandvoort. We are here for round 8, of course. If you are just joining us, we've just finished qualifying. The order for the AM class drivers is as follows. Hodges will start in 8th, Richings 7th, Locklear 6th, Ruse 5th, Cablo 4th, Fox 3rd, Samuel Grave in 2nd, and Lasku Luca in the 22 McLaren in pole position for the AM class drivers. The overall table looks like this. Hodges and Gedman will take up the back row. We have Richings and Locklear. the row in front. Ruse is 20th alongside Cablo. So there will be some AM class action at the back of the grid. Mihoka will be 18th. Not the best result for them. And we'll go through the championship and we'll explain why with that one. Clayton 17th. Spanu 16th. Van der Wal 15th. Rick Dembrave 14th. Welshman Townsend in 13th. Fox in 12th. Grafe 11th. Rogers start is in 10th. And alongside him, Dario De Vita. Row 4 sees Dialbrail and Luke Prentice. Row 3 has Volton and Jay Wazzer. Row 2 sees Michael Malnix and Eden. And the first row, AM Class Championship leader Lasco Luca and the Pro Class Championship leader Daniel Naisbitt with a 1:39.56 tenths faster than anyone else this evening. Can anyone catch him? That is the question. We do have a lot of talent in this field. We'll see what they can do. We do have a couple of minutes now between the qualifying and the race. I would like to take this opportunity just to talk about Patreon. Of course, that is the way that you can support Formula Racing League. The league is dependent on any support that you guys can have. So the main purpose of the sort of funding that is required is to cover operational costs such as the hiring of these private servers, securing commentary and streams such as this one that you might be enjoying, and so even in any other sort of utilities as well associated with sim racing. There are 3 ways that you can support, the cheapest of which is only £3 per month. So if you are one of the drivers who are racing tonight, who will be inevitably watching the stream back, or if you are just watching online and enjoying the content, you can support the league. Like I said, it is dependent. Your support is the strength in the league. That is no more than the cost of a small coffee from everyone's favourite Northwest United States based coffee company. For that, you do get your own Discord logo designed by Formula Racing League's in-house team. You will have reserved first refusal access on all Formula Racing League championships, and of course this is the big one, the kicker for me, is that you will have your stream broadcast to over 3,500 people. Will be notified when your stream goes live. So if you are racing, you're basically investing in your own success. So do have a look at Patreon, search Patreon/Formula Racing League, have a look there and help out any way you can. It is much appreciated. And thank you for listening to that. If this is obviously something you do want to take part in as well, all the information can be found on www.thesimgrid.com. You can go on there and search for Formula Racing League. This is Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday. They also have the Porsche Cup, the late night Porsche Cup, that happens every Thursday evening on the same track following this race as well. So this Thursday they will be back at Zandvoort in the Porsche Cup cars, and of course the Premium Series off Taco Tuesday, which will also be around Zandvoort. You can find all the information on how to join these championships and Formula Racing League's Discord on thesimgrid.com. And have a look there as well if this looks like the type of thing that you might be interested in. So let's have a quick look at the current championship, because that's something that we do need to look at now. We're getting into the tail end of the season, and this is round 8 of 9. So let's have a look there actually at what has been going on. Just bear with me and I will find out the championship order for you. Well, I'm just waiting for that to load up. Let's have a look at the liveries this evening, because we do have some nice looking cars out there. Sky McLaren, one of the favourites, this sort of burgundy and gold yellow from Luca. Jay Wazzer with the knob car. Volton, I like Volton's car there actually. Prentice the burnt orange and black, we've seen that as well. The Lamborghini with the US flag on top. But what looks good in this damp North Sea coast town? What car is looking the best? I like Cablo's car, I really do. The black and gold of Lee Cablo there. I don't know if you can just about see it. There it is. So I'm going to give Cablo my award for the best looking car on the grid this evening. As Dan Naisbitt gets us underway for the formation lap of race 1. We've got a 20-minute sprint race this evening, no mandatory pit stops, although if no one goes into the pit this evening, I will be shocked. This track is notorious for causing unforced errors, and the rain is not going to help that. We still have a moderately damp track, cold temperatures, so even if that rain stops, it's not going to dry out particularly quickly. So this is now a strategy choice for these drivers. Do they take the dry tyres and hope that they can get them up to temperature, or far more likely they'll throw on the wet tyre, keep the pressures nice and low in the hope that they do not overheat. 20-minute race, they might get away with that one. The second race tonight is a 40-minute race. That one I could see it being a bit more challenging for them. So that will be interesting for later on, but right now it's the sprint race. Who can go the fastest, the quickest? And that sounds very stupid, but it is entirely true. 20-minute race, first across the line basically is the winner. So let's have a quick look at these championships. So the current standings for the AM class show Luca in front of Richings by 78 points. Quite a large gap there, and Samuel Great in third on 366 points, just sort of there 40, but with 38 points back. So keep an eye on that one. The pro class sees Dan Naisbitt lead from 429 points to 384. So that's about a 40-point gap, a bit closer for that one. Mihuka is in second and has a 5-point gap to Jay Wazzer, with Jack Prentice tucked in behind there, 39 points further behind. 17 points behind him is his brother Luke Prentice. So we'll keep an eye on the championship standings, of course, this evening. 2 races, so double points are available. The winner gets 40 points, and points given all the way down to 30th. So everyone will get points this evening. But as we come round the second to last corner now, we get ready for race 1 of round 8 here at Zandvoort for Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday, hosted by Formula Racing League, live on FRL Race Hub every single Sunday at 7:45. But we've got on the grid here, we've got Dan Naisbitt on the right on your screen in the Sky McLaren. Luca is left, also in the McLaren. Eden is in third, with Milnix in fourth. Wazzer and Volton take up row 3 as we await the green flag. Still waiting. And we are green, we're underway. Luca's got an incredible start as they move off there. He's just nosed in front. Eden is Milnix are side by side. As Naisbitt hard on the brakes. Luca tries to go for the up and under, backs out of that one. There's nothing doing this time around. They all come round the first corner. It doesn't look like there's any major incidents. Everyone's kept it relatively clean coming through the first couple of corners, and that's what we like to see. Good solid driving. Townsend is very close to Fox. On the exit there's a little bit of argy-bargy, nothing serious going on there. They've got, I think it's Cablo in the background getting on the grass. Milnix still doing a good job as the driver. Tracker has a bit of difficulty updating itself. We'll jump on board with hopefully the guys at the front. There we go. Dan Naisbitt's out in front, Luca in second, Eden third, Milnix fourth. We do have 2 cars in the pit lane. It's maybe not been the cleanest start for Wazzer and Roos. Wazzer, who is in contention for the championship, is in the pit lane on lap 1. Oh no, he'll be disappointed, I am absolutely sure, with that. Car 84 is currently shown as a yellow flag coming round one of the corners as well. Not quite sure who that is exactly at this point in time. They've got moving again, thankfully. That is Cablo, car 84. As they come near the end of lap 1, Dan Naisbitt is in first, Luca second, Eden is in third, Milnick's in fourth, Prentice fifth, and I'm going to wait further back. I can't actually see who's in what position until they cross the line. We'll get the driver tracker on the left hand side. Up to date is Prentice moves off the racing line. What's happened there? Is he trying to cool his tyres down already? As they come across the line, Milnick's fourth, Prentice fifth, Dialgrail is in sixth, Volton seventh, DeVita eighth. It's very tight, it looks like back there. Rogers 9th, Grave 10th, Rob Fox 11th, Townsend 12th, Rickton Brave 13th, Van der Wall 14th, Spanu, Clayton, Gedman, Richings, Locklear, Prentice, Hodges, Mihoka and Cablo, Water and Ruse in the pits. A bit of a gap being pulled out already by the Sky McLaren car. Already absolutely flying, sorry. It is Dialgrail on the back of Luke Prentice. Had his double win, Prentice did, at Laguna Seca. Never really reached those heights since then. We're looking to improve better today. He is currently running fifth. That's a good showing as it stands. But the real winners, as it stands, Dan Naisbitt leading the way. His two championship challengers. Mihuka down in 22nd and Water still in the pit lane. So that's going to open. We'll have a little look at that in the middle of the race. We'll do some quick calculations in between race 1 and race 2, and we'll see how that one goes. We've got a bit of action, it looks like, opening up a little bit further back. We'll catch up with what's happening with Townsend's race. But these four drivers from Prentice down to Rogers, I think, no, so Prentice to DeVita, very close. DeVita's bouncing on the grass there as he comes across the line. Everyone now coming off the racing line. Looks like it's getting very, very dicey down there. That is Townsend and Rickton Brave going round Tarzan. And two cars off, that's Dialgrail and DeVita. Dialgrail and DeVita coming together at Tarzan. They've went down the order now as well, so a bit of a gap opening up there. Rogers under pressure from Brave, but the big battle back there is Fox leads them Brave. Sorry, Fox leads Townsend, then them Brave. Then Van der Wall, then Spanu, then Clayton, all in quick succession as you see them there coming round the roller coaster. One of the most rewarding sections off track on the Assetto course, a competizione game. As we see Fox brakes quite early into that right-hander, and that's what's allowing the group of pro class drivers behind Fox, of course, no obligation to get out of the way, doesn't have to move out of the way. I know they're different classes, but it is up to the car behind to overtake safely. Townsend tucks into the inside of that apex like he's tucking in a shirt that's far too big. And these guys do look to be all very close, very similar in the pace. We're on board with Clayton. Clayton that pulls out again off the wet track, looking for some wet track. Again, maybe his tyres a little bit too hot. That is one of the challenges these guys are going to face. We're only 5 minutes into the race though. I thought this would be happening towards the end of the race. We can really see the closing speed here. Bit of a train forming behind Van der Wall in the P12. We'll see on board with this section here. The spray just being kicked up. A little bit of a distraction, it's not actually too bad. See the puddle there. Clayton providing us with a fantastic view of what it's like to drive around here. Let's not remember, Clayton has got Dialgrail back on his tail very quickly. Maybe DeVita's not had. Maybe picked up a little bit of damage if they're coming together. The battle for AM class. Lucas in first, Grafe is in second with Fox in third. Richards down there in fourth. 18th overall, fourth in class, so that championship isn't going to be decided in race 1. Not at least as it stands anyway. So, okay, this is the battle for Pro Class. Second, it sees Michael Milniks in the 41 Ferrari leading Eden in the 884 by only half a second as they come across that line. So this one's not over at all, but Milniks showing the pace that we've seen from him pretty much all season. Hopefully he'll be able to... Nope, not going to curse him. Not going to curse him. Moving on. This train of cars still showing their Richards tucked in just behind Gedman. Great start from Gedman actually. Gedman was on the back row and he's moved himself up into P17. We've seen that pretty much all season from the Scotsman. He's done a great job of coming through the field as the race has progressed. Clayton, it looks now, has got Dybrio all over the back of him. The Lamborghini almost pushing that Ferrari around the corner, that banked right-hander. Doing a great job he is as well. A bit of action a bit further ahead as Rogers just getting past the AM class driver of Grafe into the Audi S. Safe move from Rogers. Rogers of course one of the admins here at Formula Racing League, leading by example, clean overtakes. He's went wide though, he's going to have to cause he's causing an issue for the car behind. Is Grafe going to drive past, or is he going to realise he's battling a car that isn't technically for position? He's definitely going for the toe. He doesn't want to give the position up. They're all moving offline, trying to cool the tyres down. And the way I sort of think about it is, if you think of the tyres heating up on the slightly drier line, it's like they become a little like marshmallows and they begin to stick. It's a little bit too much and they begin to slow you down. They overheat. It slides around on the surface. It's not the ideal temperature, so they are trying to move off the drier section of track and get themselves a little bit of wet to cool the tyres down, make them last a little bit longer. But they're all doing it, so it's not going to work for them, I am afraid. We've got a bit of a queue now forming behind Rogers in P7, so all from Rogers all the way down to Dybrio. We've got maybe, what's that, 2, 8, 1.5, 2.5, 3, 5.5 seconds separate 8 cars in the midfield, so that's particularly interesting. Milniks under a lot of pressure from Eden as well, just ahead coming out of the Audi S. Eden's really driving on, and he's got he's just dragging Prentice along behind. Prentice, one of the first cars, of course, one of the first cars to start looking for that wet section of track. Can he do anything this time around? Battle between the two Ferrari drivers. Nothing this time around. We'll keep an eye on what happens there. Rogers crosses the line with Grafe just in behind. Look at this car, the gaggle of cars. As Fox feels the need to go defensive, Townsend nearly runs into the back of him. Keeps it out of his rear wing, thankfully. Not just Townsend, of course, there's all these drivers so closely matched with one another. So quick rundown, we're just past halfway, 9 minutes of racing left to go. Naisbitt's in first, leads 2 seconds to Luca. Milniks in third, Eden fourth, Prentice fifth. Volten and Rogers, Grafe, Fox and Townsend make up the top 10. Still got another half to go. We'll see. This is far from over for race 1. Championship as it stands for Pro Class. I think goes into the next race. I will double check that one for you. AM Class is definitely going on to the next race. we'll keep one eye on the championship as well. Gedman's got Mihuka now as well, all over that Porsche's big rear end. Richard's been pulled along nicely by this pair, or this peach rather. BMW's engine just sounds so raw. Gedman misses the apex. Mihuka absolutely like a robot hooking up that apex. They're bang on. Not able to do anything this time around. He's got a little bit wide. He's got a good line there out of the corner. Can something happen down into Tarzan? You see them closing up now. He gets the toe. He takes the race line. Gedman's on the inside. It's very unlikely that move's going to stick. He takes a wide line. He straightens the car up early, but the back end's wriggling around like a bowl full of jelly. He's not able to make it work this time. So Malnick's still got Eden for company as Eden runs wide coming through there. That's going to release the pressure ever so slightly. Prentice and Volton, like I said, being dragged along with this lot. But it's Rogers who's got the pressure, it looks like. It's just behind there, that's Fox and Townsend. Fox running wide, Townsend going through. Then Brave. No, it's still Townsend. Fox still battling hard for this position. He backs off. I think he's going to keep them Brave behind, but that's released Townsend to chase forward and push on. So this train just beginning to become derailed now. Next up behind Fox is Rick Den Brave in the 34 Ferrari. It looks like he's got an amazing exit coming out of the final corner. Spanu and Clayton and Dybril behind. Dybril's still tucked up behind the back of this train. It's not where he would have wanted to be in this race. I think we can confirm Wazzer and Roos have returned to the track. It's Jack Prentice and Lee Cablow sitting in the pit lane just now. Gedman's still got Mihuka behind him. Really good lesson in defensive driving, but he looks like he's hanging the car on the ragged edge. He's went wide through three in the side by side on exit. Need to be careful with that one. Both drivers are side by side through the roller coasters, not one we normally see ending well, but they are going to try it. Mihuka and Gedman doing really well. Mihuka pulls out, of course, thinking off the championship. Like I said, points down to 30th, so everyone will get points tonight. He doesn't want to lose any of that. He just pulled away from those guys because Rogers is now under pressure from the AM class of Grafe. A little bit of a train, like we said, still there. Fox is very late on the brakes into the Audi S. And it all gets a bit sideways at the back for Fox as Den Brave and Van der Waal both go past that slithery, slippery Fox. The Lamborghini matching that name, of course. Clayton is still holding off Dybril as well. He's really doing his best. I think that's Jack Prentice back in the pits as well in 22nd. So hard to figure out where to find the action on this one. Gedman has got Mihuka for company, and we look how close he is now. He's right out in the back. He'll be getting a toe down the straight. Gedman parks in the middle of the track. Keeps the defensive line again. He's going to hold him up for another couple of corners at least. These two have picked up the pace a little bit. Eden, of course, still all over the back of Malnick. Such a closely fought race. Eden goes a little bit wider into this curve. He's going to get a later apex, and that enables him to get on the power, or should enable him to get on the power early. Dybrio, I think, had an off there again. Dybrio and Clayton dropped off the back of that pack. Looks like a damaged car there, but Eden is really applying that pressure now to the back of the American. And they're almost tit for tat as they come through the final two corners. Of course, there will be a little bit of dirty air coming off the back of Cletus's car. Melnix is defending well as it stands. Prentice under pressure from Volton now as well. Almost see a full straight between Volton and Rogers in 7th. As Townsend thinks about the move on the inside of Rogers, nothing doing this time around. They all seem to have got round turn 1 still in the same order. Dybrio is really hustling Clayton. Clayton goes defensive into turn 1. The move not happening this time around. Mihuka's got himself in front of the Porsche this time around. He's able to now push on and to try and catch Evita. It might be too late for the BMW driver. 2 minutes and 11 seconds remain. Eden thinks about it on the inside of Cletus. It's so close. Milnick defends it so well. It's so close. And Prentice behind under pressure as well as Volton thinks about an opportunistic move there, but doesn't come off for him. And after that little flurry from Townsend, it looks like he's dropped off from the back of the Lamborghini. He does have another Lamborghini of Grafe tucked in behind. And there we just see there where the McLaren pushes up. Melnix moves over again, just trying to get the wettest part off the track, keep the tyres nice and cool. Eden sticks to the middle of the road, does think about a move, but nothing doing there. Same goes for Prentice and Volton. Rogers is way over to the right of the track. Townsend's got Fox alongside. And there's contact. Townsend is spun around by Fox. They went side by side, and there's follow-on contact as well. Townsend smashes into the side of Van der Waal. Townsend down into 11th. Action in the final lap. I think we're in the final lap. Where is the leaders? It might be the last lap. It might not. Richings is still held on to that 4th place. Locklear back there in 5th in class. Hodges in 6th. Cablo has rejoined, as has Ruse, as has Wazzer. So everyone has rejoined, at least from the pit lane. Eden and Milnix are close. Prentice and Volton are so close on track, and there's potentially a move happening there at the back. Volton's going for the toe into the Audi S. Nothing doing this time around, but we can see that Porsche looks like it's really struggling for the grip in these very different conditions. But Naisbitt's crossed the line. He's just missed out on another lap, but Naisbitt takes P1. Luca first in class, 2nd overall as well as they pull over. Milnix is going to hold on to 3rd overall. Eden's going to get a podium in pro class. Prentice in 5th. Volton a couple of seconds just behind. Rogers is in 7th, and it looks like he's going to keep 7th from Rick Den Brave as he comes across the line now as well. Van der Waal is going to come home in 9th ahead of Townsend. That one might end up in the stewards room later on. Grafe is 11th, Spanu 12th. Clayton holds on from Dybrio for 13th and 14th. Careful guys on the way in. It's so close there as Fox takes 15th. De Vita is going to come across in P16. Mihoka comes across the line in 17th. Gedman weaving in celebration there in P18. Richings takes 19th. Locklear still lapping round the track. Rounds the final corner. Now that looks like, who's that there? Hodges? It's a car into the wall in the final corner, pushing it very hard. But Locklear takes 20th. And Hodges is going to be the last man, I think, across the track. No, he's not. That's going to be Jay Wazzer coming home to take 24th, but will take the checkered flag, and more importantly, will take some points home. So that's the end of race 1. Very tight racing in these tricky conditions between some very opportunistic racers. Has been a joy to watch race 1. We do have one more race this evening. We've got a 40-minute race, and we'll be seeing the drivers struggling to keep the cars cool in the 20-minute race. So let's see if that's amplified even more so in race 2. So let's have a quick look at the championship. So it's 40 points for the win, 38 for second, 36 for third. Let's see if we can have a look at the standings there off the back of race 1. So AM class, we'll look at AM class first because there's less drivers and the maths are therefore easier. We're going to go with that logic and hope it works. So standings, AM class. So Luca went in leading by 78 points from Richings. Richings is going to take 40, 38, 36, 34 points from that, so that's a 6-point swing. Bear with me. 78 plus 6, 84. So that race is still going on, but Luca can win. I think Grafe, yep, I think Grafe's mathematically out of the championship. 120 points still in it. He was 100 and, yeah, he's gone. So great, oh is he? Yes, 2-point swing. 42 minus, let's use the calculator, it's so much easier. .482 minus 366. 100, so he's still in. Yeah, Luca needs to DNF the next 3 races, so there's race 2 here at Zandvoort and the final 2 races. If Luca finishes, Grafe is mathematically out of the title picture, so it's between him and Luke Richings as it stands. So it's 42 minus 44. And that is a 246-point swing, 84 points. I think this race goes, oh no. Okay. Richings needs to finish at least 2 places ahead of Luca to keep the championship going, otherwise Luca will be the AM class champion at the end of tonight. So that'll be something to look forward to. We can crown a new champion in AM class potentially here on Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday. It's still a bit closer at the front there, but let's see this one. So Clayton, who finished where there? This is practice, means race 1. Clayton is all the way down. Not Clayton, sorry, Mahuka was all the way down. 17th, 15th, 14th. So pending a disaster, oh no, hold on, this one might be over tonight as well. I'm going to take a quick break, let you guys get a quick break as well. I'm going to work out who's doing what, and I will come back with the championship ramifications. So I'm going to take a quick 30-second break. I'll be back. Do not go anywhere.
30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Okay, thank you for holding on. I am back. Now, we've got the formation lap underway, and I've got one ramification for you, and that is that Mihoka must finish at least P8, 8th in class, to keep the championship going. And to win the championship, you'll need to take a double win with a Naisbitt double with DNF in the final race with 2 fastest laps. So, as it stands, it's looking very good for Dan Naisbitt in the championship in Pro. And like I said, Richings has to take Luca by at least 3 positions to keep that championship going as well. So we could potentially crown 2 champions tonight. We'll see what happens in the race. So anything can happen here at Formula Racing League, and it usually does, to quote the great Murray Walker. I just want to double check exactly is Wazzer still in contention as well. So just bear with me very quickly. Where did Wazzer finish? He was way down, wasn't he? Last in class. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17th. Not a lot of points for 17th, I am afraid. So Wazzer must finish 6th in class as well. Of course, this can change if Naisbitt does get the fastest lap in race 2 as well. We are coming round the final corner on the formation lap, so Wazzer must finish in P6. Mihoka must finish in P7th to keep the championship for Pro class going. AM class needs to see Richings finish 2 positions ahead of Luca. But we're now awaiting the green flag for the start of race 2 here at Zandvoort.
Green light, green light.
And we are green. We are underway for race 2. Naisbitt's got a much better start this time. Prentice under trouble there as Gabriel moves down the inside. As the 2 cars go in side by side, Wazzer's almost collected. We've got Malnick's off track on the inside of turn 1. Rejoins and causes absolute chaos. We'll see if that one goes any further. Somebody's pointing the wrong way at the back on the exit of turn 1. We'll catch up with who that is, but Naisbitt absolutely flew away and left with no debate what his intentions are for the rest of this race and for his championship, of course. And there's contact, big contact at the back. That looked like Rob Fox. I don't know who else it was involved, but Fox being involved in a good old ding dong on the exit of turn 3. But Naisbitt's out in front. Luca Volten with a cracking start. Eden up close as well. Prentice tucked in behind. Dialbrail making a much better start of this one, as is Wazzer doing his best to keep his race alive. If things stay as they stand, the race goes to the championship goes to the final race. It depends on who gets the fastest lap. We'll let the driver tracker update itself and we'll try and work out. But Mihoka is in the pits. That is his championship all but over. We'll wait and see what happens. But it's not looking great for the BMW driver. Rogers under severe pressure again from Gray, from Townsend. This little battle is going to go on, I think, all evening. Back in the AM class, we've got Roos under pressure from Locklear. Richings needs to get a move on if he wants to keep his championship going any further as well. Look at the cars weaving all over the track. Fox is in the pits. Then Brave tries to go down the inside of Townsend and doesn't make contact. That was good driving actually from them, Brave, managing to avoid the contact there. Very good driving indeed. Milnick's doing his best to recover his start. Very good for him in race 1. I think it may be a personal best for the season. And podium for the American driver. Currently running in P8. Wazzer 7th, fastest lap of the race. We don't have a confirmation of who that is just now. 3 cars showing in the pit lane. That is Marcus Locklear, Lee Cablo and Mihoka, unfortunately down there as well. Here's an interesting one here. We've got Gedman and Prentice in Pro tier battling hard. Porsche versus the Green Machine Lamborghini, and they're side by side. Prentice takes the wide line. You can see the difference there. He's going to get the car turned in and on the throttle. You can see how much better that exit is, but that Lamborghini salsa dancing the back end, wiggling its hips on the way out of the corner. A little bit of door rubbing in. It's so close. The wet conditions, of course, making it very slidey. Prentice runs wide and there's slight contact. And Prentice has taken the position, and that's now Hodges alongside the Porsche driver. We'll see how these two carry on just now. Hodges that pulls out of it knows that's not his fight this evening. As Gedman gets out of shape on the second to last turn, Hodges again showing great restraint, intrusive thoughts, not winning from the BMW driver there. So everyone now, oh no, I was basically everyone settled into a rhythm, but we've got a yellow flag showing at turn 1. That's for car 84. Lee Cablo has had another incident there as he came out the pits. We'll need to find out what's happened there. We might get a bit more information potentially in chat. If anyone knows, please give us a little comment. We'll give you a shout out as well in the chat. It's good to see you guys on there. So everyone seems to now have settled into a rhythm, and Mihoka has rejoined in the hope he can keep the championship alive. It's not looking good, I'll be completely honest. He's down there running dead last at the moment in 25th. Well, the current championship leader has secured the fastest lap this evening that will see him Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday champion as it stands. Like we said, Wazzer needed to finish 6th in class, which he is doing, but he needs the fastest lap as well if he's going to do that, and currently that's held by Dan Naisbitt, the championship leader. So that is going to be the championship as it stands. Rogers currently running in 10th. Has Grafe, Brave, Townsend, Clayton, Van der Waal, Roos, all looking for the wetter part of the track. Already tyres struggling with wearing. They must have all went for the wet tyre this evening. Try and keep the car on track. Luca's now taking the fastest lap. Of course, there is a fastest lap award for both Pro and AM, so it would be great if somebody from Pro could take that fastest lap again for us. Richings has done his part. He's up into 4th in class. No, he's not. He needs to finish 4 places ahead of Luca. My apologies. Luca's doing his part to take the championship, as is Naisbitt. Rogers is doing a great job. He really has came on leaps and bounds this season. Rogers has, competing near the front end of Pro Tier on Sundays, and in the Silver Tier in Taco Tuesday as well. If you're interested, Taco Tuesdays runs 8:30 UK time. You can join the places available. If you look at www.thesimgrid.com, follow Formula Racing League on there, you can see we do have over 70 drivers currently signed up to that over 4 tiers. So have a look at that. It is a cracking series to get involved with, as of course is this one. 2 races left in Taco Tuesday. We've got this race here tonight, and then one more race at Indianapolis at the Brickyard coming up. Talk a bit more about that later on in the show, but right now we are watching race 2 here at Zandvoort, and we've got a lot of drivers so closely matched as we see Clayton thinking about a move down the inside into Tarzan on Townsend. Nothing doing this time around. The battle for second in Pro Class overall. Volton in third. Eden once again chasing down another Ferrari. He must be getting a bit of deja vu as he comes through the roller coaster section. This tricky right hand of this banked corner must be so treacherous in the rain as we see the back end just stepping out. A little bit of a heel turn there by Eden as he comes round. That seems like a never-ending right-hand corner. It's actually several corners in a row, but it looks like you're just constantly turning the car one direction, and that will be the reason these cars are lighting up their tyres on one side. That'll maybe not be helping them keep the temperature down, and why they're looking for the wet part of the track. Then Brave has seemed to have wound himself into an interesting battle here. We've got Grafe and Rogers just in front of the oh, that's so close, isn't it? Look on board here. Great. Then Brave's got the best view in the house. Now again, these two are not in the same tier. They don't need to be fighting. There is of course a championship up for grabs, and like I said, anything can happen. There's nothing saying Luca has an accident this evening or even a disconnection. Rumours of solar flares this evening, potentially playing havoc with internet connections, so anything is technically still up for grabs. Of course, this information is brought to you by Chris Gedman this evening. Sourceline, let's call it a reliable news source. So maybe that's potentially going to impact the championship as well. Bit of a reach, but we're going to go with it as Townsend's all over the back now of them Brave. We come on board with the Welshman. He's got a great view for this battle as well as they come round the roller coaster section. Almost a bit of contact there from Rogers, and the back end steps out from Townsend as he comes round there, but he keeps it well under control. Yeah, we've got a slow moving car actually, car 84. Who is car 84? Is it 884? It's 884, so that's Eden. Eden's been off track, I think, maybe. No, 84's in the pits, my apologies. That is Cablo off track once again. Not having the best of evenings is the Englishman. He goes a little bit wide, Grafe does. He's going to open the door now for Rick Den Brave in the yellow Ferrari. He's pulled alongside now. This is an interesting one. You see there, that Lamborghini is getting a tow from the car in front. That's maybe opened it up. Nothing doing this time around, but Grafe's ran wide on exit. They get very close on the exit of Tarzan. Turn 2 is going to put Grafe into the correct position. That's going to put them Brave out of position. Now Townsend on the grass, keeps it out of the wall. Great car control again by the McLaren driver. The number 9 car keeps it out of the wall. Good stuff. Dybrell will be looking to make amends for what happened earlier on in race 1. He is now in a fully repaired K-Pax Racing Lamborghini, chasing down the black and burnt orange rear end of Luke Prentice. Just in front as well, Eden looks a lot closer to Volta. It's so hard, of course, to overtake. Car 508, that is Rob Fox off track at the back of the circuit, now taking the tow truck to the pit lane. So that's Rob Fox out, and the more this goes on, it's looking like the championship is going to go to Dan Naisbitt. I think he's got this one wrapped up. You see the close battles just behind now. Great, we've got a car wide. Look at them all weaving to try and cool the tyres down. All my championship permutations. Double checking my maths now. 429, 379. They get side by side. So Dan Naisbitt needs a 14-point swing over Wazzer to take the championship. Right now it's a 14-point swing due to that fastest lap. Sorry, he won't take the championship, he needs a 18-point swing over Wazzer to take the championship, sorry. Because of the potential for Wazzer getting the two fastest laps as well. It's almost looking like a foregone conclusion, but it might still go to the final race of the season. Rick Den Brave. Sorry, Van der Wall getting in front of De Vita. There he is. De Vita still applying the pressure, thinks about down the inside, puts his nose there, makes Van der Wall know that he is still there, he's not giving up. The amount of times I've nearly called Dario De Vita Danny DeVito is ridiculous this evening. So if that slips out, I do apologise in advance. Just in front of Townsend under pressure now from Clayton. I mean, let's not downplay the job these guys are doing out there this evening. We've seen a lot of mistakes. It is one of the hardest tracks, of course, in this simulation. And the weather conditions will not be making it any easier for these guys. Now, what is going on here? We've got Luca being held up by Locklear. I think it is there. Locklear in the 323. Yes, it is. So that's again, see, that's one of the things that could happen. There could be some issues lapping traffic. So that's something that could impact the championship as well. But Luca has got past that. There's a little bit of damage on the side of his car there actually. Hopefully not losing too much downforce. Rogers is not being let go by Samuel Grafe. He is really not wanting, I know they're not in the same class, but he wants that 9th place. He is not letting it go, and as we can see how close they are. Den Brave, of course, got the best view off. That's Grafe off. He's lost the rear end. He's hit the wall on the inside. Is he going to jump into the pit lane? He needs to be careful because Townsend is now alongside him. He can't jump in the pit lane. But Townsend is now under pressure from Clayton. The 3 abreast into turn 1. They're so close from touching. It's only going to end badly, but they seem to go through this door rubbing. Clayton's down the inside of Townsend. Don't know if Townsend will appreciate that one too much. It looked in control, but potentially a little bit aggressive. As Townsend keeps it on there, but Graves went on the grass again. So easy to lock up doing that and put yourself into the wall, doing a Daniel Ricciardo and smashing your hand with the steering wheel forces. But he's not done that, fortunately. He's kept the car going and he's not actually lost any positions. He's still currently second in class. Oh, it all seems like buses. We wait 15 minutes for a bit of action and suddenly it all comes at once. So if you have been enjoying this stream this evening, I do need to stress this situation that obviously Formula Racing League is dependent on support mainly through Patreon. The cheapest option to support Formula Racing League is £3 a month, and it does of course secure streams and commentary like this one. So if you are enjoying this tonight, do be aware that commentary and streams are at risk of not continuing into next season. We are fully dependent on your support, and like I said, that £3 a month will mean every single race you stream from your own point of view, 3,500 people will be notified of that, so you'd basically be investing in your own success. Do please consider supporting us if you are enjoying this content tonight, of course. £3 a month for Formula Racing League. Secure all your spots. Secure your spot at all their championships and invest in your own success. No more than the price of an overpriced cup of coffee from one of your high street chains. So we'll have a look at AM class there actually, because that is still important. That's still going, of course. Richard is currently in 4th overall, and that is going to see the championship go to Lasco Luca, the AM class championship. I'm sure they'll all still turn up for the final race at Indianapolis. We'll bring you that one live as well, 7:45 next week for the season finale, the final Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday of 2023. Do not miss it, live here on Formula Racing League TV at FRL Race Hub on YouTube. We'll have a quick rundown of the race then. So Dan Naisbitt is starting his 12th lap of the race. He leads Luca by 3 seconds, just over 3 seconds. And he leads Volton by even more than that. He's currently got an 11-second lead to the next car in class. Eden is 4th. Prentice 5th. Dialdwell running 6th. We have Jay Wazzer, the only driver still in championship contention as it stands, if it were to finish right now, in 7th. Milnix is in 8th, with Rogers with a bit of a train built up behind him now. He's got Rick and Brave, Josh Clayton, Townsend and DeVita all within about 3 seconds of each other, and they're very close into turn 3, but nothing happening this time, at least this time around anyway. Then Brave 10th, rounds off the top 10 there. Clayton 11th, Townsend 12th, DeVita 13th. Vander Wall is in 14th. Grafe and Roos a couple of seconds between them. Prentice is in 17th overall. Richings 18th, 4th in class. Gedman 19th, Hodges 20th, Locklear 21st. Mihuka rejoined 3 laps down in 22nd, Rob Fox 23rd, and as we watch Rogers, he's went wide. I knew somebody would do that this evening, just touch the grass. As Van der Waals followed him off in sympathy, it looks like. You knew that was going to happen at some point this evening. So easy just to run your left tyre on the grass and you end up visiting the stewards in the stewards hut at the corner of that track. At that corner, sorry. So DeVita has managed to keep the car on. I'm going to try my best not to curse them here, but the last couple of races he's had time to go to the shop while his car was fixed in the pit lane. He's done very well this time around. He's currently running P12 and what is, let's be honest, tricky conditions. He's doing a good job as it stands. Interesting to see Townsend's line there. He takes more of a V shape through that turn 1, and that might be saving his tyres a little bit actually. Getting all his accelerating and braking done. well, not turning the car as much, so that might pay dividends later on in the race. We'll keep track of that one. Eden is still tucked up behind Volta. He must be getting frustrated now. He's looked at the back of a Ferrari for it's over 40 minutes now, including the race 1. Prentice will be having exactly the same situation. Luke Prentice staring at the back of a Ferrari for most of the last 2 races as well. Clayton in the 500 car, doing a good job, currently running in P10. How's Wazzer doing? Wazzer's currently a little bit on his own just now. He's got Milnick's behind, about 2 seconds, and Dowdale ahead by about 3 seconds. So he's got a bit of gap there. So he's doing everything he can. He's keeping himself in the championship fight as it stands. After this race, there'll be as it stands anyway, after this race there'll be 84 points still up for grabs, and he'll be 82 off the lead. Let's have a look back here because we've got some action brewing. We've got Townsend defending hard from De Vita. De Vita pulls out. Nothing doing this time around. Rue's running very wide round the exit of Tarzan there. That McLaren's looking quite smashed up. Here he comes round turn 3, 4, 5 now. And that Ferrari behind looks like it's closing. The dirty air around this fast right-hander, and look how much on the limit Townsend's pushing that McLaren. I'm going to come up on that because I know fine well he watches the stream at the same time as racing. We don't want to jinx him. So let's come on board and watch this battle here. We've got 4 cars within very close succession of each other. We've got Eden in 3rd, Bolton in 4th, Prentice 5th, and Dowdale in 6th. All about 2 seconds separating the 4 of them, so very close going on here. But what's happened here? Rogers is under pressure again. Rogers has maybe had it off. He's got Grafe all over the back of him. Grafe had an incident there, but you know, he seems to have fought. Yeah, he did. He was in the wall earlier on. He's got the pace on Rogers, it looks like. The 2 Lamborghini drivers in different classes, of course, but still fighting each other very hard. He's closing. These 2 are very close to each other as they come into turn 1. Rogers goes deep into the turn, and Grafe learning why you can't take the inside curb on the entrance to turn 1 there. Nothing major going on, but these 2 are so close to the battle. This little gaggle of cars are really showing us what's going on, how close the racing here is at Pure Sim Gear, Super Sprint Sunday. Pure Sim Gear, of course, company that provides gloves and socks with specific sim racing features. Very hard to say those words out loud, especially when these guys are giving me so much to talk about in this race. Look how much Grafe really wants that position, and again, it's not his battle. He doesn't have to fight Rogers, and Rogers doesn't have to defend. You need to remember that as well. Rogers is making an active choice to defend from the AM class car. If he is faster, just let him go. It didn't look like the rain was particularly heavy there, but we can still see it on the main feed as they come through into the Audi S. Now this is interesting here. We've got car 32, that's Wazzer. Wazzer's under severe pressure from Dybrio now. Only a couple of tenths in it. So this is potentially championship changing. This will put Wazzer down into 6th. No, it's the other way around. Rogers went up a position, so he's now up into 6th. He's 5th in class. Sorry guys, there's so much champion. And Naisbitt's had an issue. Naisbitt's now only got 6/10 from Luca. It's less than that. You can see on screen it's visibly less than 6/10. Luca's all over the back of him. This is for the outright win. It doesn't change the point, of course. Knowing both of these two, they will not want to give that position. I almost guarantee these two will be racing in the same class next season. Of course, next season will be starting sometime in 2024. The date yet to be decided, but you can follow Formula Racing League on www.thesimgrid.com and look out for announcements. You'll get notifications for when they announce new championships. And if you want to secure your place in that championship, that's how you would sign up, and you will get first refusal if you are a Formula Racing League Patreon member. So keep that in mind as well, as it looks like Naisbitt's just letting him go. He's got no interest of fighting him. He knows it's not his battle. He just needs to finish first. Doesn't need to fight for a position. That'll still be your first in class for the veteran. But what he might not know is Wazzer is only 4 positions behind. That's 5 positions behind. That's only a 10-point swing, and that, even with the fastest lap, that will not be enough to give him the championship this time around. So he's going to rely on other people, but that looks like Grafe still applying the pressure to Rogers, and again he's on that inside curb. That doesn't work. It just spits you back out like a discarded piece of chewing gum. It's just so tense to watch this, because all it takes is one wrong wheel and it causes a massive incident in that section. It's so narrow. There's one line through this area as well. As we jump on board with De Vita, he's got the best view in the house of this battle up in front. As we see Grafe again looking unstable on corner exit. Sorry, entrance, corner entrance. It looks like the rain's maybe picked up a little bit. It's not, it's been fairly steady. I am hearing, but this particular view, it looks much worse I think than it actually is out there. So quick rundown, Luca leads, Naisbitt second, Eden third. These two are going side by side actually. Again, Grafe is not letting this one go. He really isn't. We'll do the rundown in a second. We've got just under 11 minutes of round 8 to go. The final race here in Europe. And Rogers is all out of shape coming round the final corner. This is the opportunity that Grafe has been waiting for. They're all getting a toe down the long start finish straight. The straight line speed of Rogers, but is that De Vita down the inside? It is, and there's a 3-car pile up into turn 1. It's absolute carnage. Townsend is going to just swing round the outside. There's further contact between the three of them. Oh my goodness me. It all went horribly wrong for De Vita and Rogers through Tarzan, but the big beneficiary of all of that, I think, was Townsend, who's going to move up a couple of positions at least. We'll let the driver tracker update itself. He's still showing us down there in 12th, so maybe it wasn't, maybe it was Dembrave. Dembrave is the big beneficiary there. He's through, well ahead of Grafe, and that's damage and contact. So Wazzer again's found himself in 6th overall, that's 5th in class, in a gap of his own, so he knows the situation. He just needs to get those points on the board and hope he can take it into the final race of the season. The current action on track, the big battle, seems to be Eden versus Volten. Volten, yeah, I've done that trick before, it doesn't work. You weave it. Oh no, there's contact! That one works. When you nudge the car in front, Volten's moved over. Prentice is going to go through and take 2nd overall. And this is, I must admit, pure gentlemanly conduct as Volten allows Eden to retake the place, even though it's cost him, and that is great driving. He's done it. Oh, there's further contact. I'm going to have to stop talking because they're doing the opposite of what I'm saying. But Volten is now going to move up, and again, this is not working for Dan Naisbitt's championship because Jay Wazzer is now in fourth place overall. He's got himself on the podium in Pro Tier. That's only going to be now a 6-point swing. So we've got 10 minutes left in the race, and you can see everyone's still pushing to the absolute limit. Luca leads, Naisbitt behind 4 seconds. Prentice behind 13.3 seconds, 3 seconds to Wazzer. Under a second to Volten. Under half a second to Dalibriel. Milnix is 5 seconds behind that lot, with Eden a further 5 behind with a damaged front end, and Clayton all over his rear. Then Brave has got Grafe trying to munch into his backside. Townsend looking particularly damaged on the side of that McLaren as well, with Van der Waal and Prentice following behind. De Vita has some interesting move down the inside of Tarzan as well. Richines is still getting that car going, and he's up into third now, up one more position, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Gedman 17th. Rogers is in the pits. Again, it very likely has time to go down to the shop. If anybody wants to get anything, just leave a message in the chat of your shopping list. We'll send Rogers to pick it up for you. Locklear is in 20th, Ruse 21st. Mihoka is still in 22nd and still going. Absolute trooper he is. Rob Fox has also rejoined, and Spanu did rejoin and has returned to the pits. So that's the rundown. Where are the battles on track? Volten has run wide, and that's going to look at this. We've got what's happened. Wazzer is now moving down the pitch as Volten spins middle of the corner. As Milnix is going to move through now as well. He's still spinning. He's doing premature. Donuts, you were race early for that one, my friend. Need to be very careful on rejoining here. We're going to stick with it, but it's his race is ruined now. He's not going to get that car turned around. He's got a small gap as the Vita goes round. He thinks about it. Car 23 is coming round now. There he is. Needs to be careful on that rejoin. Luckily Ruse sees it happening. So that's what's happened to that race now. What's happened? Wazzer is now at 5th overall. Dalibriel taking the podium position, the final podium position. Action unfolding in the last 5 minutes. This is of course when the tyres have now gone, basically. There'll be very little to no grip left. Grafe is down the inside. He's not giving up, is he? He really is wanting to finish as high up the order as he can. Now, then Brave's flashing, that's not allowed. He is in a different class, but he's got no obligation to move out of the way. Absolutely none. He's clearly the faster driver as well. You're not entitled to that position. We do have a lap car up ahead though. I think that's Marcus Locklear in the 323 McLaren. It is, so we'll see what happens there. If he's going to cause any potential issues. These guys of course in the same class as well. Blue flags, however, are blue flags. Move is the rule. Brave's got a little bit out of control, but overspeed, and so has Rick then Brave. He's went sideways. That's going to open the door potentially for Townsend. His eyes were lit up seeing that Ferrari. That's what I'm saying, the back end, the back tyres now crying, screaming, no more, no more, no more. You have tortured me enough. Speaking of being tortured, Jack Prentice rejoining the server late, didn't qualify, stuck in roadworks on the way home, has made it to the track and racing in race 2, and he's all over the back of Townsend. He is It looks like Townsend's nursing that car as well. A fair whack of damage. The 512 of Rogers still in there. I think he's just moving now. He's back from the shop. No, he's going back to the shop. Rogers forgot something at the shop, back in the pit lane, and it looks like Prentice has the straight line speed in the battle for who has the best green car in race 2. And it looks like the mint green lean mean fat reducing grilling machine of Prentice has went through. Good driving, good overtake. Things seem to have settled down a little bit now. Then Brave is running in 10th, but the back end of his Ferrari does not want to play, it looks like. And the question is Jack Prentice going to be able to catch them Brave for that top 10 finish? There's currently an 8-point swing in Naisbitt's favour for the championship in Pro Tier. They've got a very sideways looking car. That was Van der Wall at the back. He's kept it out of the wall. I don't get to sing my song this evening, but he has kept it within the white lines, thankfully, and will continue on. 2 minutes of racing here left to go at Zandvoort, and it looked like it was getting a bit dicey there actually, as Grafe is not giving up. He's on the back of Eden now as well. Eden's not had a great race. The front of that Ferrari looks smashed to pieces, but he is pushing it on. Again, soldiering on, doing his best he can. I think he is mathematically now out of the championship, but he still wants to finish as high up as possible. He's shown great pace this evening as well. The 508 car, that's Rob Fox. An incident, he's rejoined the track in front of some cars. Very cautious guys round there. Yellow flags out, of course, warning these guys they need to be careful. There is an incident ahead, and they were. Great driving by these guys. So Graves still on the back of Eden. Very close. Oh, like I said, I was almost pushing him around as Luca starts his final lap, and potentially his last lap without a championship to his name. Richings is third in class, but it's not going to be enough. There's going to be a big enough swing, I think, to crown Luca as champion. All he has to do is get round this lap. He's got no one in front of him for a whole sector. Come round this final turn now, and look at the back end of Grafe spinning around. Of course, Eden not faring much better, too much understeer, and that's allowed Grafe through to take 8 overall. I don't see Eden keeping up with him as the lap continues with the damage sustained earlier on in the race. So it's wet, it's slidey out there, but it's Lasco Luca once again going to come home and take a first place in race 2, as he did multiple times this season. He's coming into the Audi S now for the final time. Only 2 more corners to go, and this is it. This is potentially now in the record books. Obviously all this is pending any post-race inquiries, but Luca has been very clean all season, it must be said. He's round the final corner now. All he has to do is put his foot down, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, I present to you Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday Season 11 champion Lasco Luca for AM class, and Dan Naisbitt comes across the line in second. overall, first in class, and it just depends what happens now with Wazzer. He is currently running in 5th. Luke Prentice is going to come across the line, takes 2nd place. Dybriel in 3rd. Wazzer 4th in class, 5th overall, and that is going to be enough to take the championship on to the final round at Indianapolis. Dan Naisbitt will have to wait one more race. Mulnix takes 6th, Clayton 7th. Grafe gets his 8th place. We've got Prentice looking very wide, keeps it out of the wall, sliding over the track in the background. Then Brave takes 10th, Prentice 11th. As Locklear comes through lapped. Van der Wal 12th, 3/10 of a second from Danny DeVito. Townsend is 14th. Volten is side by side, and there's contact there, guys. What is going on? You cannot do that. Volten smashing in. I think that was Ruse across the line as well. Richard's going to come across the line, 3rd in class, but it's not going to be enough. Luca is the AM class Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint champion for season 11 and will 100% be in the pro tier next season. Great drive from them. I am going to just double check the standings. I do think Wazzer has taken it on to the final race. That is a 2, 4, 6, 8 point swing in race 2. 8 points, and then where is he? He's down there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 places. He finished 16th. Let's double check that one actually. So 16th is 15 points. That's a big swing, 25 point swing. So that's 25 plus 8. That's 33 point swing in the weekend, plus the 2 fastest laps, of course. 37 point swing. Is Dan Naisbitt champion? Hold the phone, we might have a Verstappen situation where we don't actually know who is champion. 429 minus 379, if the answer is above 37. Sorry, above 84, that is the season over as well. I forgot the swing, oh no. Oh Gordon, what are you doing? 429 minus 379. There's a 50 point gap. So 50 points coming into this race. There was a 26 point swing, 28 point swing in race 1. With Dan Naisbitt's fastest lap. He's got the fastest lap in this one as well. But he finished a lot higher in race 2 as he did Wazzer. That's a 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. 8 point swing there. $83 points is the gap between Naisbitt and Jay Wazzer. There are 84 points up for grabs, so the championship for Pro Class will go down to the wire at Indianapolis next week. The legendary Brickyard plays host to the finale of Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday. We are going to be there at the same time, 7:45 PM UK time on this very same channel, FRL Race Hub on YouTube. That's it for me this evening. Congratulations to Luca for taking the AM class champion, provisionally of course, pending any stewards inquiries, but it's very likely he's going to be crowned the AM class champion. Naisbitt will have to finish, we have to wait next time out. Please join us one more time this year as we visit one of the most famous tracks in the world, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My name is Gogs the Captain Brown. Thank you very much for coming aboard the comms box with me this evening. Until next week, stay safe. We'll see you next time.